All right, welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm OGL Schmitt. This is Custom OGT, and once again, it is time for some home free. So the last reaction, which was about a month ago, you guys let me know that Home Free had a seafaring album coming. Apparently, that's a big passion of Chance's, and they've released 2 songs from that. If I'm not, maybe more. They they released songs at a pretty quick clip, but I know they released recently a cover of the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which Gordon Lightfoot classic. I'm definitely going to be reacting to that one very soon. But before that, they released a cover of Billy Joel's The Downeaster Alexa. I've always loved this song. It's from the Stormfront album, which brought us We Didn't Start the Fire. I think that song tends to get all the attention on that album. The Downeaster Alexa, it's a great song. I don't know if it's the nautical theme, the working class vibe, the just the arrangement, Billy Joel's voice. It's a really good song, a very underrated part of Billy Joel's catalog, I think. And when I heard that Home Free was covering it, I'm like, man, I've got to check this out. A Downeaster is actually a 19th century sailing ship that was built in Maine. Billy Joel purchased one. He named it after his daughter Alexa, hence the Downeaster Alexa. And he purchased his ship in Maine as well. I lived in Maine for about 10 years, spent a big part of my youth there. I remember being a really beautiful place as long as you could survive the winter. So yeah, let's check out some Home Free, singing about a classic sailing ship and covering some Billy Joel. Let's go for it, guys.
Well, I'm on the Downeaster Alexa, and I'm cruising through Block Island Sound. I have charted a course to the Vineyard, but tonight I am Nantucket bound. We took on diesel back in Montauk yesterday, left this morning from the Belle in Gardiner's Bay. Like all the locals here, I've had to sell my home. Too proud to leave, I worked my fingers to the bone so I could own my Downeaster Alexa. And I go where the ocean is deep. There are giants out there in the canyons, and a good captain can't fall asleep. I got bills to pay and children who need clothes. I know there's fish out there, but where God only knows. They say these waters aren't what they used to be, but I got people back on land who count on me. So if you see my Downeaster Alexa.
Okay, it's been a while since I've even heard the original, so it's hard to find a good spot to pause. I've always loved the atmosphere of this. It almost feels like you're out on the open ocean. There's lots of space, and it feels like you're kind of rocking. I like sort of the reverb they put on Adam Rupp's vocal percussion to sort of give it that spaciousness as well. They did a really good job capturing the original's atmosphere with just voices. Although I did like the rhythmic introduction with the just the stuff on the boat clanking together, sort of creating a rhythm, which then segued right into Adam Rupp's vocals. So Rob is taking center stage on this clearly. The other guys are doing their backups and harmonies, and even with these are a lot more basic backup and harmony than I'm used to from Home Free, but they still have such a great blend and such a good, I guess, ear that even when they're doing something really simple, it sounds absolutely amazing. And Rob's voice it's just a very pleasant sound. It manages to have a bit of wizened weariness to it without being particularly gritty. Billy Joel's has a sort of a throatier sound, and Rob has a very focused, almost nasal sound to it. So a difference in the vocal approach, but the theme remains. When you're a fisherman, you're at the mercy of a number of things. The ocean, which is pretty merciless. Any factor that influences the ocean can affect you. Um, an ecosystem being out of balance. Weather patterns changing, causing fish to either die or to leave an area. Even introduction of invasive species that will feed on game fish. A lot can change, and this is how these people make their money. So it's a very it's not an easy life, and you can you see that in the video, but the look on a woman's face, she's kind of man, she's happy to have caught a fish, but it's like, okay, that's just one. And I like how the lyrics sort of detail the mundane aspects of shipping, just figuring out where you're going to go, taking on fuel, and then sort of just needing to be aware, because you never know when you're going to when an opportunity is going to present itself. So just so far just a really great interpretation of a really great song. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Rob's, I think I've said this before, Rob's definitely got that older brother quality to him. And like on one hand, like the view there is absolutely gorgeous. I would love to do this for a day. I can't imagine doing it for a living. It's too much chaos, too many inconsistencies. So just a huge respect, big salute to anyone that made their living this way, because it is not easy, and it's becoming harder as we're living in a changing world. But let's go back.
I got bills to pay and children who need clothes. I know there's fish out there, but where, God only knows. They say these waters aren't what they used to be, but I got people back on land who count on me. So if you see my Downeaster Alexa, and if you work with the rod and the reel, tell my wife I am trolling Atlantis, and I still have my hands on the wheel.
They're doing just so much with just the vocal percussion and the vocals. There are some really cool counter melodies that they've introduced in the backing vocals as well. But I've always loved the tell my wife I'm trolling Atlantis. I still have my hand on the wheel. That is just that whole verse, which is basically about when things are bad. Just the idea that there are people that depend on you, that it's not just about you, that driving you to continue. I love that. Just that inner strength that drives them forward, even when there's when some people sort of throw their hands and give up, they'll keep pushing forward, because really they don't have any choice. This is how they eat. So a great job by Homefree for actually hammering that emotional point home musically as well as vocally. So I guess the difference between Rob's voice and Billy Joel's is Billy Joel sounds there's a weary anger in his voice, like he's raging against all of these things, the changing of the times, the struggle he has to go through. It's like that's how he summons up the strength to push forward. He's going to fight, whereas there is much more hope in Rob's voice. He strikes me like there's some weariness there, but it's from someone that's taken things in stride. for a while. And, for him, that's not letting it get to him, not, resorting to anger or lashing out, but rather just sort of keeping things in stride, keeping it focused, remembering his purpose. And both approaches have their merits, and it basically depends on your personality type, what motivates you more. I like the fact that when you do a cover song, I like for there to be you want it to be recognizable. You want there to be similarities to the song that you love, but you also want the artist to take it in a different direction. Homefree has done that. This is a very hopeful and noble individual, as opposed to sort of like the angrily noble individual portrayed in Billy Joel's version. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm really liking this. Homefree doesn't miss, but this is just a perfect. They were born to cover this, I guess, and it kind of feels that way with all their stuff. They are able to make any song feel like they should have done it from the start.
Now I drive my Downeaster Alexa more and more miles from shore every year. Since they told me I can't sell no stripers, and there's no luck in sword fishing here. I was a bayman like my father was before. Can't make a living as a bayman anymore. There ain't much future for a man who works the sea, but there ain't no island left for islanders like me. Hi, 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 oh. Hi, 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 oh. Hi, 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 oh. Hi, 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 oh. Hi, hi, hi,
So that the OAOs in there, that's the counter melody I talked about. I think those add a lot because it almost has that sea shanty vibe to it, something a crewman on a ship would sing to sync up in rhythm and to lift their spirits. Definitely going to be reacting to the sea shanty medley. I've been promising that for a while. I've been doing some research on sea shanties. But the last verse always kills me. I was a bayman like my father before. Can't make a living as a bayman anymore. Just the conflict of tradition with changing times. And again, that was something that you could sort of feel this seething anger when Billy Joel sang it. And with Rob, it was just, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to find a way. This was a little bit simpler than a lot of Homefree stuff. Not a whole lot of like really complex vocal parts, although I'm sure if you like looked up the chords that they're singing and the harmonies and whatnot, it's probably crazy. But it feels very simple because it doesn't have to be complex. It's message driven. I did like the image in the end of the lady throwing the fish to the bird because if the oceans are depleted, animals like birds that feed on fish also do suffer. He talked about taking the ship further and further out to find fish. It is not an easy life, and the changing times have not made that any easier. And increasing things like environmental regulations, and certain fish probably being banned from being sold or being placed on endangered. And I'm not saying any of that is bad. I'm just saying it does make it hard to make a living. So that you can't sell no snappers, and there's no luck in sword fishing. Like, sword fishing is crazy because you're fishing for something that's essentially a living weapon. Like there have been people that have been impaled. You've seen a swordfish. It has that long, like, beak. People have been impaled because they hook those things and they jump out at the boat and they've been stabbed. So yeah, the fact that fishermen are willing to risk that to hunt for things that could very easily hurt them very badly is it's inspiring. Um, and I do sort of like this song as an ode to maybe a dwindling profession, but a tribute to those that take pride in it. And Homefree they did an amazing version of it. I really need to purchase this album. The nautical theme is one that I've always been fascinated by. So yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the song as compared to the original. Homefree's take on it. If any of you have the album, let me know. Yeah, definitely more Homefree reactions coming, guys. Home fries. I appreciate your support. And if you like what we're doing here, guys, and there's links in the channel for supporting the channel. Any links in the description for supporting the channel. I'm so rusty at this. But yeah, we're independent. We're a low budget operation. Every little bit helps. It helps us keep the machines running. But honestly, just your comments, thumbs up, a like, it's more than worth it. So you guys have a good one. Always keep pushing forward, no matter what. Hope is something that I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Sandman TV show, but they brought up a bit where you can't. Hope is something that you can't kill. It can sometimes be weakened. It can sometimes be silenced, but it can never be killed. So always stay hopeful, no matter what. Always push forward, and always bring your A game and work hard. And always listen to Homefree because they will make you smile. So thank you all very much. Have a good day. Be seeing you all again with the next Homefree reaction real soon.